Some stories are not just about murder. They expose the darkest corners of humanity. This is the tragic story of 16-year-old Sylvia Likens. Her parents thought they were leaving her in a safe place, but this decision cost her life. Torture, neglect, and ultimately, a horrifying death. Sylvia's suffering remains one of America's most tragic cases. How did no one stop this nightmare? Now, let's uncover Sylvia's forgotten story together. Sylvia Likens was born on January 3, 1949. She was one of 5 children in a traveling carnival family. Because her parents were always on the road, Sylvia and her sister Jenny were placed in the care of Gertrude Banaszewski for $20 a week. Banaszewski, a mother of 7, initially agreed to treat them like her own children. But when payments started to fall behind, Sylvia's life became a nightmare. At first, Banaszewski only verbally humiliated Sylvia, but soon, physical abuse began. She was beaten with a heavy paddle, starved, and forced to eat spoiled food from the trash. And the worst part? The other children in the house joined in the torture. Over time, the torture became even more horrifying. Sylvia's body was branded with a hot needle spelling out, "I am a prostitute and proud of it." The children burned her with cigarettes, starved her, and at times, even forced her to eat her own waste. By October 1965, Sylvia was too weak to walk. She tried to escape, but Gertrude caught her. Starved and dehydrated, she was on the verge of death. Finally, Gertrude and the other children dragged her to the basement, where Sylvia's life came to a tragic end. On October 26, 1965, when police found Sylvia's body, they were horrified. Her body was covered in over 150 wounds. The autopsy confirmed that starvation, abuse, and internal bleeding led to her death. Gertrude Banaszewski, her children, and some neighborhood kids were arrested. During the trial, witness testimonies shocked the world. One of the most shocking testimonies came from Jenny Likens. She trembled as she told the jury, "Get me out of here, and I'll tell you everything." Jenny detailed how her sister was beaten, starved, and begged for mercy in the basement. "Sylvia told me, 'Jenny, I know you don't want me to die, but I will. I can feel it.' No one helped her, even when she was suffering so much." One neighbor testified in court, "So, we heard the screams from that house, but we assumed it was just the Banaszewski kids playing. No one could have imagined something like this." This statement explained why the neighbors never called the police, despite hearing Sylvia's cries for help. One of the neighborhood kids testified about how they participated in Sylvia's torture. "Gertrude told us she was a bad person. We all tortured her for fun. Back then, I thought it was just a game. We can't understand how she even survived for so long after enduring such prolonged torture." This statement proved that Sylvia's suffering wasn't just at the hands of the adults, but also the children who saw it as entertainment. Medical reports presented in court revealed the horror Sylvia endured. Her body had over 150 wounds, cigarette burns, and severe physical trauma. Doctors stated that she died due to starvation, dehydration, and extreme physical abuse. At the end of the trial, Gertrude Banaszewski and those who participated in the torture were convicted. But Sylvia's suffering would never be forgotten. Sylvia's death led to stricter child abuse laws in America. Even today, her name remains a symbol in the fight for children's rights. But the biggest question remains, why did no one save her? Like, comment, and subscribe. For more true crime stories, don't forget to follow us.